Hello, everyone. My name is Monica Malarski, and I am a Brain Balance mom to two boys who have been through the program prior to me now being a center director at the Brain Balance of Pembroke Pines Cooper City location. So today we are going to talk a little bit more about the Brain Balance program, who we help, and hopefully answer some questions that you may have. So let's go ahead and get started. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to receive this downloadable document. And this shows the signs of imbalance in a child's brain. So right brain weaknesses and left brain weaknesses, which is what we work with at Brain Balance. And then in the center of this document, you'll see a balanced brain and what the right brain and the left brain are in charge of. So you will receive this downloadable document in your inbox in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So who is Brain Balance for? Brain Balance works with kids who are formally diagnosed, but also children who are not formally diagnosed. Their parents simply acknowledge that their child is struggling in some way, and so they bring them to our Brain Balance Center. We work with kids that are struggling academically, socially, and/or behaviorally, just to name a few. So we use the latest in brain research to be able to address the signs and symptoms of specific diagnoses like ADHD, OCD, autism spectrum disorders, and ODD. So this is what we're doing at Brain Balance. We work with this developmental progress, and we work with every area in this pyramid, starting from primitive reflexes all the way up to synchronization. What we're doing is filling in the gaps in development that a child may have that is hindering their abilities. So we are contributing to the proper building of a child's foundation developmentally. So this is the ideal situation, a balanced brain. And so you'll see just some of the things that the right brain is in charge of and some of the things the left brain is in charge of. So our right brain is our EQ, our emotional, and our left brain is our IQ, our intelligence. So what we work with, again, is when a brain becomes desynchronized. So there's one hemisphere that is maturing at a faster pace than the opposite hemisphere. And so that side that's maturing at a faster pace, it tends to become overworked and it gets very frustrated. And then that weaker side tends to lag behind and it starts missing signals from the stronger side. So imbalance causes lopsided skills. I'll use my son for one of my children, for example. So he was doing very, very well academically, absolutely no concerns academically. However, socially, he was struggling significantly. And so that is what we mean by lopsided skills, where they can be exceptional in one area and then significantly struggling in another. And so things like this can frustrate children's abilities to do things simply like socializing or eye contact, which is something that my son really struggled with. Eye contact, being able to build friendships, genuine connections with other people. He truly struggled in that area. So these are some symptoms of a right brain weakness. Hyperactivity, poor gross motor skills, poor attention and focus, poor nonverbal communication, poor reading comprehension, and missing the big picture. These are some symptoms of a left brain weakness. Poor reading, fine motor problems such as handwriting or poor grip, manipulating small objects tends to be difficult, poor auditory processing, poor verbal communication or memory for details and facts, and then also poor self-esteem. So we really go against the norm of what society says. Society says you really should focus on their strengths and lift them up by their strengths, but actually what we do in every Brain Balance Center is we completely ignore their stronger hemisphere. And we only focus on the weaker hemisphere. And when we're focusing on this weaker hemisphere, we are applying intense stimulation using multisensory, so smell, auditory, tactile, academics, and visual. And then while we are stimulating with all of these multisensory things, then we're actually also challenging that weaker hemisphere with very specific exercises, sensory motor activities, and academic skills. So the result, ultimately, based on neuroplasticity, is the brain's ability to grow and change. We are seeing that weaker side get stronger because we're only focusing on that weaker side, and we are helping that weaker side grow. So again, this is the downloadable that you should have received or will be receiving in the next couple minutes in your inbox. And this shows the signs of imbalance: right brain weakness, left brain weakness. And then in the center, what our goal is through program, which is to ultimately have a balanced brain where both hemispheres are communicating properly. So the program itself. The program consists of sensory motor exercises and academic exercises, which are done in center 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 1 hour. And it's always the same hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then there's also at-home activities that include nutrition, exercises, and environmental changes, such as limited screen time. So I like to emphasize to every single parent that comes through our doors that this is a true partnership between the family and the center. It is not simply dropping your child off for program 3 days a week. We are going to do everything that we need to do on our end. However, the at-home part of program is also just as vital to the progress of your child coming through program. So the at-home exercises, the nutrition, and the suggested environmental changes are really, really important. So this is an overview of our Balance 360 Clean Eating Nutrition. We ask families to limit eggs, soy, and corn, and then completely eliminate sugar, dairy, and gluten. Do not worry, though. I know looking at this might seem a little intimidating, but we actually have registered dietitians on staff. Included when a family enrolls in program are webinars with these registered dietitians. We also have a parent portal that houses specific shopping lists to places like Publix and Aldi's. And then we have also on the parent portal recipes that are Balance 360 approved. So we provide all of the support for our families. So this is a map of the brain balance journey. Once a child has been assessed, if they are a good fit for program and are accepted into program, then there's a welcome meeting that takes place at the first session of the child's program. In-center sessions happen, at-home exercises and activities are implemented, and then every 12 to 16 sessions, there are progress reports that happen with the directors and the parents to keep those lines of communication open. Then when a child is done with the recommended amount of in-center hours, there's a reassessment that's done. It's included in program. So we're able to see where a child started program and where a child is ending program. Then you meet, you go over the reassessment results. And if the child does not need any more in-center program, then we do a fun celebration with all of our kids. It's a ton of fun. We invite the family and we celebrate that child and that family. So then there's something called post-program where there are at-home exercises and activities that families should be keeping up with for at least a year after program. We do monthly check-ins with the families. And then there's another assessment that's included in program, and that's the 1-year assessment. And that happens 1 year from the day that a child finishes in-center program. Everything, however, starts with the assessment, our comprehensive assessment. And these are the areas in which we test. So the assessment usually takes about 2 to 3 hours with the child. And there is parent paperwork that is required. However, when you receive a confirmation email, the link to the parent paperwork is in that email, so families are more than welcome to complete it prior to coming into the center. If a family is unable to complete it prior to coming in for the assessment, then they're more than welcome to complete it on one of our iPads here in center. The results meeting is usually within 48 hours of the assessment. It is never on the day of the assessment. So we will schedule that with the family when they come in for the initial assessment. And the results meeting usually takes between 45 minutes to an hour. So regularly, the assessment costs $295. But in the scheduling software, in the comments section, if you put, I watched the Facebook video, then you will get $100 off of the assessment. So it will be $195. So what are the next steps? Go ahead and schedule a discovery call. You can click the link below, and you can choose the best day and time that works for you. And it's a free 20-minute phone conversation to be able to get on the same page and see if you and your family and your child are a good fit for the Brain Balance program. I completely agree with Catherine. She's one of our Brain Balance parents, where she said it will completely change your life. It completely changed the trajectory of both of my sons' lives and really our family dynamic. I'm eternally grateful to Brain Balance, and I love the fact that I can now positively contribute to the families in our local area by being a center director here at the Brain Balance of Pembroke Pines, Cooper City. So thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to schedule your discovery call.